To you, is it tracking your favorite sports teams? Or maybe it's watching your favorite music videos online. Why not get it all? More happens on Bermuda's only 4G network. Get more from your wireless company, One.
The government lays out its new legislative agenda in the ceremonial speech from the throne. Hello and welcome to a special edition of NEWSBITE covering the throne speech, brought to you in association with One. It's Friday, November 2nd. I'm Michaela Pearman. Governor Sir George Ferguson delivered his first throne speech in Bermuda on behalf of the government. He arrived at the Cabinet building in a traditional horse-drawn carriage with his wife, Lady Ferguson. As the Queen's representative, it was the job of Sir Ferguson to tell the country about the government's agenda over the next 12 months. The flagging economy received a lot of attention in the third throne speech for Premier Cox. The government says it will borrow only for long-term capital projects and devise an overall medium-term strategy for reducing debt, pursue a blue economy that includes monetizing the surrounding ocean with strategies like hydro energy and water tourism. The government also promised to expand the EEZ model, explore economic partnerships with Gulf states like Qatar, and streamline the work permit process to make immigration faster and less bureaucratic. In tourism, the goal of doubling the number of air visitors in 10 years was highlighted again, a promise made to further medical, cultural, and sports tourism. The throne speech also set out a path for broader concessions to stimulate tourism development, and the concessions will be tied to hiring Bermudians. Also, the government said it would look at providing residency to visitors who buy vacation home units. Speaking of tourism, it seemed to be an area where the government planned to see job growth. For example, the government said it will reopen the St. George's Golf Course and hire only Bermudians to do landscaping and run the concessions. And if you have lost your job or fallen on hard financial times, government will look at a way to make things easier and possibly decrease the statutory borrowing rate. That will be a potential help for homeowners who are unemployed. The throne speech spoke to offering financial assistance for seniors housing as well. Plus, the governor cited the government's continued support of the Salvation Army Homeless Shelter. That covered the housing section of the speech. In healthcare, 100% of generic drugs could be covered in future care for those on financial assistance, and we might see new taxes on junk food to fight obesity. Plus, restaurants could soon be required to show the caloric information of its dishes for consumers to see right along with the prices. The health theme popped up in education as well, where the government promised to encourage healthier lunches be brought to school. It also proposed modernizing how government scholarships are awarded to students. Also look out for mandatory early learning screenings for 2-year-olds. The government's crime-fighting plan for the new legislative session seemed to focus heavily on young people in an effort to prevent crime before it happens. On that front, a national youth strategy is to be devised. It might include YMCA-like facilities across the country. The government said giving young people something constructive to do was critical. There was also mention of a community-led project to restore derelict buildings and revamp broken-down roadways. The government speech also spoke of a new grant for the BIU Credit Union, a revitalization project for sports clubs, and a plan to honor Olympians, including a bronze statue for boxer Clarence Hill, an idea that drew loud applause from the gathered dignitaries. We might also see a new online government portal in the very near future and a new human rights bill to protect gays and lesbians. Plus, the government wants to move the Bermuda Regiment away from conscription and into a full-time force. The timetable for that move will be set sometime in 2013. Obviously, there's a lot of information. You can go to BDASun.bm for coverage and focus in on the areas of most interest to you. Typically, the opposition isn't heard from in a significant way until a week following the throne speech, but the One Bermuda Alliance took a preemptive strike. Overnight, it published a YouTube video featuring its leader, Craig Cannonier. Before the governor spoke from the throne, Mr. Cannonier told voters another throne speech would not bring the change Bermuda needs, and that the country faces enormous challenges. You can get a lot more about the throne speech right now on our website, BDASun.bm. That's all for this week. We'll leave you with today with video of the parade of parliamentarians at today's throne speech. Catch me on channel 82 over the weekend. For these stories and so much more, visit BDASun.bm. NEWSBITE was brought to you in association with One. I'm Michaela Pearman. See you next Friday.
To you, is it tracking your favorite sports teams? Or maybe it's watching your favorite music videos online. Why not get it all? More happens on Bermuda's only 4G network. Get more from your wireless company, Sal One.